Hello everyone and welcome. It's Coffee with Ceri. Hi guys and welcome back. So if you've not seen one of these before, this is just a layman's view of a topic, just what I found out about it just through going through life, social media, television, media in itself. So I just usually choose a topic. My aim is not to offend anyone, and if it's a topic you're uncomfortable with, then please, just click the pause button or click the stop button and go to another one. So coffee time here. It's a cappuccino latte. I can't remember what it was. It's nicer. All right. Okay, today's subject. When did we let these rule our lives? I mean, seriously, when did we let these rule our lives? The mobile phone, the smartphone, mobile devices. I don't know about you, but I am beginning to get very, very annoyed with them. You walk down the street, people will bump into you because they're texting or looking at their phone, they're not looking where they're going. I don't know statistics, but how many people have stepped off the pavement in front of an oncoming car or a bus because of it? We cannot go out for a meal without at least one or two people having their mobile phones on the table next to them. And then in the middle of a conversation, they'll go, oh, just got to answer this text. And before you know it, they've gone away into that land of mobile phone and you've been totally ignored. The amount of times I see children sat around in a room, because I have friends who are kids, and the kids are watching things on the videos or watching things on the mobile phones or playing things on their mobile phones, and they're not having a conversation. We are losing the art of conversation because of this. We're losing our social skills because of this. I mean, I'm a teacher, I'm a demonstrator, I'm a TV presenter, I'm a TV demonstrator as well. I travel a lot. The amount of times I've been in an auditorium of people and I've been entertaining, and you can look around and there's at least a few people sat there just looking down at their phones and they're actually just texting or doing something different. You don't want to be there, don't be there. It's like, I'm not one that goes to music concerts, basically, because I get a bit panicky in that many people. But how many videos have you watched where there's been video footage of a live concert? And you know what? A large amount of the people in the audience are holding this up and videoing the concert that they're watching. Why don't you just put it down and actually enjoy the concert? Why do you always need to be videoing? It's scary that it's become that essential to our lives. Now, I must admit, when I was growing up, yeah, I'm sure my age, you received a letter, you wrote a letter, you sent a letter. You didn't expect to get an answer for about 5 to 10 days on a letter, ballpark. Now we send a text, and within like 10 to 15 seconds we get annoyed because there's not been an answer straight back. If someone hasn't answered within 24 hours, we get up in arms. It's like, oh, what have I done to upset them? Why are they shunning me? Why are they ignoring me? Why haven't they answered? When did we become the person who had to have an instant answer to everything? I also find that because of the electronic devices out there we're using, we're lacking the thought process of actually reading or understanding what we're writing. We just almost verbal diarrhea on a text and we send it. How many of you do you actually read your text before you send them? I mean, how many times do you post something on social media and you've read it back? How much do we rely on autocorrect? And goodness knows autocorrect has done me some injustices over the time. And I think I've read it. But then when I get an answer back, they're going, what are you talking about? Now I've reread my own message, my own post, my own text. I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I say? It's scary what we're doing with the phones. Now, there are good things about phones. There are actually good things about phones. I like the fact that I carry a phone in my pocket because if there's ever an emergency, either for myself or say I see an accident happen or a crime, I can now just pull that phone out and get someone who knows what they're doing to do something about it. Whereas before, it used to be, where's the nearest pay box? Where's the nearest phone box? Can I borrow someone's phone to actually do it? So being linked is good. I think that's a good thing about it. Having every single thing in your life on the one phone, I'm not sure that's too good about it. I mean, I have friends who control their entire house, the heating, the lighting, the garage doors, their businesses, everything on a phone. And then they freak out when they lose their phone or their phone dies on them and they can't use it anymore. We have become so reliant on technology. I personally find it a worry. I know that so much, like booking systems and help systems and visa applications and driving license applications, so much is on the internet and so much is reliant on power. Say we had a global power outage. I know that's a bit far-fetched, but say it goes down, how do you cope? As I say, the power to my home went offline, and it went offline for a week. How do I charge things up? How do I keep technology going? I don't know how I keep my business going, to be honest. Everything I do is via a computer, an iPad, or an iPhone. How do we do that? I mean, there are people who don't even leave their home anymore. They do all their shopping online and it's delivered to the door. And my doctors, you can no longer phone up and make an appointment. You have to make an appointment through an online booking system. It's terrifying, and we carry this technology with us all of the time. And what do? We sacrifice interacting with other human beings because this feels safer to us. So many people think this gives them the right to say and do what they wish via social media without recompense, without consequences, without looking the person in the eyes and seeing how much hurt and harm you've done to somebody. I personally do not like that. Is it going to change? I don't think it's going to change. I think it may change slightly if we become more aware of it. But for example, I mean, this craft cave of mine where I run my business from is upstairs in my home. My sister, who shares the house with me, her areas are downstairs, the ones she usually, I mean, we're not blocked off from each other, but the areas she's normally in during the day is downstairs. The other day, she actually texted me from the front room, and I'm like, you could have walked to the bottom of the stairs and called my name. I would have come to the top of the stairs and gone, yeah, what do you need? She texted me from the couch in the front room. I'm like, seriously? And I hate the fact that you go out, I don't go out very often, but if you go out to a bar or a restaurant or a club or anything like that, how many times have people sat round there just looking at the phone? They're not interacting with each other. They're not talking to each other. The art of conversation is dying, along with it, the art of vocabulary. We need to make sure we're not isolating ourselves in public areas, because you're standing there, you're not looking around you don't know what's happening, you don't know who's watching you, you don't know who I mean, we're taking this to a limit now, you don't know who's possibly stalking you, you've got a handbag or a rucksack over your back or your shoulder, you don't know who's actually eyeing that up and going, you know, I'm just going to grab that off them because their attention's not there. You don't know who's looking over your shoulder when you're sat on a bus or something or a train. You don't know who's looking at the screen you're looking at. I think we just need to be a bit more cautious. If there's one thing I really heard, I thought it was a great idea about these things. A friend of mine, if they go out to dinner and they're with a group of friends, everyone has to put their phones in a pile at the end of the table. If anyone picks up their phone or answers it, that person buys the meal for everybody. It forces people to not answer immediately the phone. Seriously, if it's an emergency, you'll leave me a message and the message will ping up. If there's a message on my phone and I recognise who it's from and I'm not expecting a phone call from them, then I'm like, oh, I need to do something about that. But you know what? I have caller ID on my phone, in that my contacts, I have tried to put a picture of each of the people in my contacts or their business logo into my contacts. So even when I don't have my glasses on, if my phone is ringing or buzzing, I can look over and go, oh, that's this company, or oh, that's that person. And I know the people on my contacts. I'll go, oh, I'll just call them back. They won't mind. Or if someone, say in another country, has contacted me, I'm like, you know, guys, I will turn to my friends and go, listen, this is an international call. Do you mind me taking this call? I don't just assume it's right. So, and this, I mean, well, let's not go on any further. I think we need to call time on this subject. But you understand what I mean. I personally am trying to not let this rule my life. My phone is for phone calls and texts. I don't do email. I very rarely do social media on it because I've got big fingers and this screen is really hard to type on when I'm trying to touch type on it. Not touch type, type by touching. I find I struggle with that. So my phone is a phone. It's also a calculator. I must admit, I do use it as a calculator. But other than that, that's it. I don't need to be that connected to the world. The world can wait a little while. If it's that important, then you know what? They can wait maybe an hour, because within an hour I probably will have picked my phone up again, or I would have picked my iPad up, or I'd be back at home, or someone would have left a message going, Ceri, can you answer this call? There's a way around it. So anyway, just wanted to say I'm trying to not let my mobile phone control me. I want to control it. And I think that we will enjoy life a lot more if we actually look up from that little screen and look around and maybe say good morning to someone. Walk down the street knowing where we're walking, or what we're treading in at the time, or what pavement we're about to tread off. So hopefully it's something you think about. Hopefully it's a topic that's not offended. But you know what? You might find there's little nuggets of truth in there. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye now.